Africa, 1967. The world was watching Vietnam burn. The Cold War raged from Cuba to Berlin. But hidden from the headlines, another war exploded, one that would kill over 2 million people. It was not a war of foreign armies, but of brothers. It was a civil war, brutal, bloody, and silenced by shame. The world called it the Nigerian Civil War. The people who lived it called it Biafra. And though few talk about it today, it was one of the deadliest wars of the 20th century, a war of politics, oil, starvation, and survival. Before we uncover this forgotten war, I have one small request. If you love untold stories of history, please watch this video till the end. I promise, the twists and betrayals in this story will leave you speechless. And while you're here, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Whisper the Past, and share your thoughts in the comments. It only takes a few seconds, but it means everything. It keeps us alive, so we can keep history alive. And when you're done, check out our other videos, because history is never what you were taught in school. To understand the Nigerian Civil War, we must step back to 1960, when Nigeria became independent from Britain. Nigeria was a giant. Over 45 million people, more than 250 ethnic groups, and vast oil reserves in the Niger Delta. But beneath the surface lay fractures. 3 powerful regions defined the new nation. The North, dominated by the House of Fulani, largely Muslim, conservative, and tied to traditional rulers. The West, home of the Yoruba, diverse, cosmopolitan, but fiercely protective of their autonomy. The East, the Igbo heartland, ambitious, educated, and rapidly rising into leadership roles. On paper, Nigeria was a democracy. In reality, it was a fragile marriage glued together by colonial lines, not unity. Britain had left behind a system that favored the North, larger in population, politically dominant, but less industrialized. The Igbo and Yoruba elites often clashed with northern leaders. Suspicion grew, rivalries deepened, and then corruption. Nigeria's first republic was drowning in scandals, vote rigging, and chaos. The dream of independence was souring fast. The storm was coming. In January 1966, young Nigerian army officers staged a coup. They assassinated Prime Minister Tafawa Balewa, top generals, and political leaders. The coup was bloody, shocking, but incomplete. In the chaos, Major General Johnson Aguiyi-Ironsi, an Igbo officer, emerged as Nigeria's new leader. But here was the problem. Most of the officers who led the coup were Igbo, and most of those killed were from the north. Whether by accident or design, the coup looked like an Igbo conspiracy to dominate Nigeria. Northern leaders seethed with anger. In July 1966, northern soldiers struck back in a counter-coup. General Ironsi was captured and executed. Tens of thousands of Igbo civilians living in northern Nigeria were massacred in revenge. Trains and lorries carried the dead and the displaced southward. Survivors spoke of entire villages wiped out, of families hacked down in the streets. By late 1966, Nigeria was no longer one country. It was a nation divided by blood. In the East, Igbo leaders debated. Could they ever live in Nigeria again? The massacres had broken trust forever. On May 30th, 1967, Colonel Odimugu Ojukwu, military governor of the Eastern region, declared independence. The Republic of Biafra was born. Its symbol was a rising sun. Its anthem was filled with hope. Its people believed they were fighting not just for land, but for survival. Nigeria's military ruler, General Yakubu Gowon, saw it differently. To him, Biafra was rebellion, secession, treason, and so, in July 1967, Nigeria declared war. The war began with confidence. Biafra's soldiers, many poorly armed, fought with fierce determination. At first, they even pushed westward, threatening Nigeria's heartland. But Nigeria struck back hard, with support from Britain and the Soviet Union. Its forces advanced with tanks, artillery, and air power. Biafra was surrounded, cut off from the sea, starved of supplies. Its people faced a new enemy, hunger. Pictures of starving Biafran children, their ribs sticking out, their eyes hollow, shocked the world. Relief planes tried to break the blockade, landing on dark runways by night. But it was never enough. For 3 years, Biafra held on. 3 years of bombings, raids, famine, and desperate hope. Some Biafran scientists even improvised weapons. Rockets made from pipes, bombs dropped from tiny civilian planes. It was a war of desperation against a giant. But the world moved on. Vietnam filled the headlines. Biafra became a whisper. By 1969, Biafra was collapsing. Its people were exhausted. Its soldiers were outnumbered. On January 15, 1970, Ojukwu fled into exile. His deputy surrendered to Nigeria. The war was over. Officially, Nigeria declared a policy of no victor, no vanquished. But for millions, the wounds ran deep. Over 2 million people had died, most from starvation. Entire generations were scarred. And yet, the world barely spoke of it. Why is the Biafra War so hidden? Because it was inconvenient. In the Cold War, both East and West armed Nigeria. Neither wanted to admit their role. For Africa's leaders, Biafra was dangerous. If one region could secede, others might follow. For Nigeria itself, the war was shameful, a wound to be buried, not remembered. But memory lingers. In Nigeria today, the scars of Biafra still shape politics, identity, and mistrust. And beyond Nigeria, Biafra inspired liberation movements across Africa. It was proof that Africans could resist, but also a warning of the cost of division. For 3 years, the world turned its eyes away as millions died. The Nigerian Civil War, the War of Biafra, remains one of the darkest, least spoken chapters of the 20th century. It was a war not of foreign invaders, but of brothers. A war of betrayal, famine, and silence. And yet, from its ashes rose lessons about unity, about identity, and about the price of forgetting. Because history is not just what we are told. It is also what we are not told. If the story of Biafra moved you, help us keep these forgotten histories alive. Like this video. Subscribe to Whisper the Past. Share your thoughts in the comments. It only takes a few seconds, but it keeps memory alive one story at a time. Empires fall. Nations rise. But memory endures.